Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with me, MUCU37. So, we've been in the DC-8. We've actually done quite a number of flights in the DC-8 now, and I think this is probably going to be the last one. It's probably like the end of my week, making Air Hauler videos and stuff. I got some other things to do, and it's late in the week, and I was thinking it would probably be a good time now to go ahead and end the DC-8. Got over 10 episodes. We gotta have like 13 episodes or something like that. I've recorded so many, and we'll probably move over to the L1011 TriStar. I flew that for a little bit, and I got so disgusted with it, and I've reinstalled it and uninstalled it, being ticked off at it. I installed it again, messed around with it a little bit, and it seems to be a little better. Still, the fuel configuration is just ridiculous, but I think we can get that going again. I'm gonna try anyway. Anyway, for our last flight, we've got a plane down here in Orlando, going down to, what is that, Santiago de Cuba? Down here in southeast Cuba. It's only 589 miles, so it's a short one, but it pays $763,000. It's quite heavy, but I've already got loaded, and we were able to get plenty of fuel in there. Let's go down here. It's the heavy lift, 87%. You can see you've got all of it in there. I got up to 825. It's actually like a little over 600 miles, and you can actually get 1,800 miles worth of fuel. There's another 1,000 miles, but that should be plenty of fuel. So go ahead and say fly now, day flight, and we'll move on over to the plane. All right, everybody, here we are at the plane. We're down here in Orlando, and there's nobody here. What happened? Where'd everybody go? I'd almost forgot that we were the ones that flew down here. Oh, there's some Delta planes. I think Delta is the only airline I see down here. In the few times I've been here. The scenery is set dense or complexity and autogen. Yeah, just 2 Delta planes and us. Alright, we'll hop in here. Alright, we'll go ahead and put... 1 second. Alright, had to pause it there for a second. Let's make sure the parking brake is on. I think it is, but make sure it is. Let's come back over here. We're on external power. Top, that goes to bottom. Top. Bottom, mid. Cabin supply. AC/DC bus tie. Let's go ahead and turn on the pitot heat. Hit Control E. Get the engine started up. Autopilot servos. Alright. Sure, we gotta go to data. I hate how we have to do this. Flight plans. Put on the KMCO. Where are we? There we go. MUCU. What in the world? Director. Oh, right. Hit departures and arrivals. Alright, we're going to take off on 17, right? I think that's where we actually came in. We're not going to use the SID. All the SIDs go to the ROL VOR. There's actually another airport where that is. And it's to the north. That's where like all of them go. I don't quite understand it. Alright, we're going to land on ILS 10. I couldn't find the SID or star for it. Kind of weird that there's stars there, because I didn't see anything. Yeah. There we go. Reserves will say 5% or 5 tons. Some people say it's tons, some people say it's percent. I think it's tons though. We're quite heavy. We're gonna go up to just 32,000. And I wish we had a star for it. Sure everything works through there. Let's check out our plan. We'll step through it. I want to see that approach. Alright, that works just fine. So we'll just come in straight over. Actually, will work pretty well. I may not even have to, what is that, 10 miles? Maybe 10 miles to get set up. Might not be too bad. Alright. So 17, I think we... Alright, so we can get over from over there. I thought we might have to come down here and taxi on over. Gotta go over to the engineer's panel. Put this on Gen 4 and put this over to the battery. Alright. Parking brake comes off. And 17 right, I believe, is over here. Yeah. There we go. So we'll go ahead and push back. Maybe. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little while. I don't know why. Flight director's on. We'll go ahead and set the flaps to 18. It's a good looking airport. I really do like it. It's a little hard on the frame rate. And this plane is definitely hard on the frame rates. To put our nose over there. Oh, we can always hit those two up. Not sure that that was really make any difference. I don't think so, because we've flown without them doing that before. But this will probably be the last flight in the DC. I can't say that for sure, but I think it will be. We'll go over to the TriStar. I was messing around. I've had a ton of flights in all my different series up in Alaska, up in Juneau. And I know my TriStar is sitting up there, and so I just happened to download it and try it again. And it actually worked. I did a flight down to Portland, and it actually worked fairly well. It's just the fuel. On the gauges, there's, I believe, 4 tanks. You got your 2 outer ones and then 2 on the inner. I'm not sure if they're like wing tanks or I'm not sure. I'm just talking about the gauges. And when the outer tanks run out of fuel, the plane just shuts down and I can't get the engine started back. And they're the ones that run out first. So I don't know what the hell to do, because I tried all kinds of different fuel configurations during that flight. To test out, and I couldn't get them started back. I don't understand it at all. It's very, very frustrating. By the way, we've got our taxi lights on. Cloudy in Orlando. I bet it feels great though. It's like 70. The low 70s here, and out in the Midwest, some places out in Colorado I heard today got over 2 feet of snow. It's gonna be crazy. But it's pretty much that time. We're getting, you know, 3/4 of the way through March, so it's pretty much springtime. We're gonna have a couple days. I know we're close to it's gonna be in the 50s, but can't complain. That turn was horrible, but the speed is just totally messing with me. That's one thing about this plane, I've never been able to taxi with it. Like, the easiest thing is the taxi, and I'm terrible at taxiing. It just does not like... The speed is just what kills me. Because I thought about making videos with this thing, but... like landing videos and stuff, but I always show the taxi, and I don't know if I'd want to show the taxi in this plane. It's just horrible. I mean, listen to it. It sounds like we're gunning the engines, and look how slow we're going. Then if we get going straight, I'm sure she'll go just fine. That one wasn't as bad, but you see how much thrust we have to use to power through the turn. It's crazy. Trying to get her lined up here. There we go. So the flaps are set. We should probably add some trim here in a second. I guess we'll go to the very end. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to make a whole heck of a lot of difference. I guess we'll go to the end. We can line up better. We use a little more runway to line up because you know the turns are going to be this poor. But I'm glad we got this plane working. It's a fun plane. Once you learn the oddities of it, it took me a while, but I finally got the hang of it. Yeah, see how far we're probably off. Yeah, look at that. It's ridiculous. Oh well, put the landing lights on. Put a little trim into her. Flight director's on. We gotta get the strobes on. Alright. We'll see how well we get onto the runway, whether or not we stop or do a rolling takeoff. If I'm able to turn her very well. See how far the head movement goes with this thing. It's horrible. Alright, there's actually a pretty good turn. Reset my views. There we go. Alright, everything looks good. We're ready to get going. Alright, she's stabilized. Go for it. I should have set the runway heading. 100 knots. Just 140. Go ahead and rotate. Slowly. I know we are quite heavy. I didn't want to pull up too quick. Got a positive rate. Gears coming up. Retract 1 notch of flaps. Oh my goodness. He's coming in the wrong direction according to the wind, by the way. Kind of worried. Well, I guess there won't be anybody close to him. I was going to say, because we're flying right over that. Might want to gain a little altitude before we cut over to the left. Alright, flaps are fully retracted. I want to take a look at the scenery because the surrounding scenery is great. Should be 2,800. It's 2,800 feet a minute. Oh my goodness. What's going on with this? Her speed is insane. She went up to 4,000 feet. Ridiculous. Unreal. Let's take a look outside. Unreal. I don't know why the vertical speed has to shift around like that. You can see the outside, the surrounding scenery, man. It's just freaking awesome. I love the colors of the grass and the different colors of the water and all that. I think it looks fantastic. Beautiful Orlando. I've been there once and I don't remember it at all. I was too young down there at Disney World. Alright, she's settled down to 2,800 feet a minute. I don't know why that... I don't understand why it shifts around like that when you put it over to autopilot. Let's see if she's gonna go correctly here or not. Usually you have to turn it off and on once or twice. Now we can advance some thrust into her. Yeah, but as soon as you hit the autopilot, the vertical speed, I don't know why, but it's first set to like -600 or whatever, so it comes flying down, and then that obviously is going to screw with the speed, and then all of a sudden she comes flying up to 4,000 past the 2,800 that you've already set it to. It's just like, come on, plane. That's why it's so hard to keep the speed down. If you want to keep the speed down, you basically need to fly it manually for a little while, so you get some altitude and she doesn't go so fast. That's what we should have done, but I want to, like I said, I want to look out at the scenery. The scenery around here is fantastic. Let's see if she turns. It doesn't appear to want to turn. So I will turn it. And I think the reason is, see how it's already switched to this leg, and I think that's the problem with some of these flights. It's done that in other flights too. That first leg becomes the active one. Let me see if I can pop that up. Yeah, LL, where is it? That's not, doesn't even look like that one. Deary or something. So it's already got the next waypoint over here is the one that we're headed to. I think that's what screws things up. Alright, we're up to 12,000 feet. Wrong one. Landing lights are off. We can slow our descent rate here. We're going to slow that down to 2,500 feet a minute. We can advance the thrust a little more. I was just trying to avoid that 250 knots, even though we had gone over 300 at one point. It was a little out of control when we put the autopilot on. Move that back over to nav. Let's see if she's going to turn it back over. I don't know if she will turn or not. You can also check out alright, so Deary, we're going to be about there 1747, and then we'll land at 1951. So just over around 2 hours, because we'll obviously speed up, so it'll probably be a little less than 2 hours. We'll slow on our descent. Trying to see. Feels like my range is messed up. Alright, looks like that is 80 on the arc there. Alright, well, bring this back up. Going up to 32,000, and we will be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed. We need to go check real quick the map. We need to get our ILS frequency. There we go. 110.7 and 093 is the heading. 110.7. Alright, down here. Here we go, 110.7. We'll switch that to the active. Like I said, 093 is the actual heading of the runway. It says we're right on the glide slope. The elevation I know is a little over 200 feet. See, it looks at 170, 3,000 feet. And I'm thinking maybe we take the control of the heading real quick and go out to the right just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit, just to give, so we have a little bit more time to line up. Well, that looks like a big city. I accidentally have it set. I was doing a video last night, Sydney to Dubai, and I was starting that last night, so I have it set to Australia, but the Australia stuff is disabled in the scenery library. I don't think that mess with the textures any. It doesn't really look, does that look like Cuba? I don't know. Alright, we're at 7,600 feet. It says we're on the glide slope, but I do not trust that thing either. But it does, we're 16 miles away and we need to be at 3,000 feet, so not too bad. Now it says the glide slope is actually below us. And that we need to descend a little bit quicker. We can descend a little. We're only going, yeah, now 1,400 feet a minute. Oh crap, you know what? Put all of our lights on under 10,000 feet. At least the landing lights. So I have to do the taxi light as well. We'll put in a little more thrust. We're down to 214. Up to a little bit more. You got mountains. Oh boy. So we must be turning before the mountains, because at 3,000 feet, there's no way. I mean, we have to be on this side of the mountains. Right? On the other side's the ocean, right? And I'm not liking this, because we wouldn't go behind the mountains and over to the airport, right? I don't like this at all. Because, I mean, we're still at 5,600 feet. There's no way we can clear them right now. It really looks like we're going on the other side, though. I don't like this. Nine miles has got to be on the other side of that. Alright, you know what? Holding our altitude right here, because it is on the other side of the mountains. How can you be at 3,000 feet? There's no way. We can go to the right a little bit, because we're going to have trouble getting down now. There's 300 feet a minute. Right, we need to go ahead and slow down though, because we're going to have trouble getting on the other side, getting down now. Well, maybe not. We still do have a little ways to go. Alright, we're past them. 1,400 feet a minute now. I'm going to put out a notch of flaps as well. come back a little bit more towards there. That was really sketchy. So I wasn't expecting, you know, we're going to have to go on the other side of those mountains. I thought we were going to turn in front of it. I thought that would be like the edge. Maybe there's a good reason that there's stars there. Alright, we're probably descending a little quick now. We got back to 12. We're going to be at 3,000 right there. And we'll at least be close to that. Let's go ahead and turn towards it. Yeah, we're descending a little too quick. Go ahead and hit the ILS. Increase the thrust a little bit. Oh my god, what is this? Alright, the ILS has got it. That's a good thing, I guess. Increase thrust a little bit more. Man of day. It sounds like a warning, but it's not, I don't think. I think it's literally the trim. Alright, wow, this is ridiculous, this area. Look, the runway is clear over here. Man, you come right up on these mountains, don't you? Daggone. Could you imagine trying to land here at night or something? That would be terrible. This is not a good area. Right, another notch of flaps. See, we've got a fairly stiff wind. I don't know why, at least it's not as bad as a crosswind. It seems like lately we've been getting tons of crosswinds and stuff. Look how it lines you up. I don't know if it's going to swing back around or what. 2,500 feet. I'm going to go ahead and drop the gear. Put out another notch of flaps. We are coming back a little bit to the left. I think that takes us to full flaps. No, now we're at full flaps. I think we're going to have to take control over here in a second because it's not getting lined up. Alright, aircraft is mine. Let's go ahead and get on over. We're sinking a little bit. Now we've lost her. FlightSim is still above us. Do know that. Need to peek down. I need to see her. There we go. Alright, I don't want to get her speed up there too much. Feels like our speed is messed up. Feels like we're pitched really high as well. Start coming down here now. Feel like that got us off track really bad. Get our speed down. I can feel we can't come in straight on down. I'm gonna get too low here in a second. We get up getting really high at our speed. Shit, speed. I got low again. Oh, we're offline so bad. It says okay, but it was really a bad landing. I could not get it lined up for anything. It was right, left, right, left. I could not get her lined up. Wow, that was awkward. I literally could not get her lined up and then to stay lined up. Right, left, high, no, I'm low, high, low, fast, slow, This is ridiculous. You know, our landings, when we first started this plane, our landings were actually better than they are now. Maybe it was because we were flying by the seat of our pants, and now we're like, now that I actually know what I'm doing, I'm thinking about it too much or something. The area is actually a pretty nice looking area. The scenery looks pretty daggone cool. Alright. Need to get a little bit closer. Alright, we'll stop right here. Our last landing in her, probably. It wasn't a good one. Turn off our landing lights. Pitot heat. Alright. Hydraulics. Let's go over to the engineer's panel. AC/DC bus tie. External power. Alright, fuel is cut. Alright, all the lights are off. So we can go ahead and we'll get paid. Alright, we'll go ahead and unload her. At least I guess you could say that we didn't damage it. I guess that's the good part. I couldn't get it lined up. And I came at it from a longer distance too, but the ILS really didn't help. I mean, it was off to the side. It was kind of awkward. Hello, air hauler. Antonio Maceo International, Santiago de Cuba. Come on, air hauler. I guess the one thing about the TriStar is up in Juneau. There might be some good flights up there. It's probably going to be a few days so I can get to that, though. I usually don't record much on the weekends because there's people here and stuff like that. Although sometimes I do get an opportunity, but a lot of times, no, not usually. Got a lot done last weekend because I was here myself, but I don't think that'll be this weekend. Got the TriStar at Minneapolis. It's a lot of. I think that's a lot of weight for the TriStar. If I remember correctly, the TriStar doesn't really hold that much. Fuel capacity, cargo capacity, 83. So I guess it's not that heavy. It's 20,000 more pounds. It's so long distance, but the TriStar does hold a lot of fuel. Ooh, Honolulu. Ooh, how fun would that be? Ooh, you could almost take 2 to Honolulu. Ooh. Got scenery for Honolulu, man. That's whoa. Right, and I do believe the TriStar is there. Yeah, PAJN, it's Juno. Oh man, what time is this? Not quite 2 o'clock. I could almost do that. Although I don't think I can, because that's a long flight. Daggone it. Maybe I can do that tonight. I really want to try and get that in, but that's a lot of weight. It's over 130,000 pounds. That's 50,000 more, plus 2,400 pounds, or 2,400 miles worth of fuel. Wow, she goes 6,000, huh? I would have to probably get rid of some fuel. It's almost got double that. Fuel on board 160. Let's see. It's only 50,000 more pounds. Yeah, she'll be able to do it. That's for sure. That would be a long flight back wherever you're going from Honolulu. I'll tell you that. I wonder if there's got one like going to Midway or something. Yeah, Midway to Honolulu. Wow, we might have to do that. Might have to try that. Might have to go for it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. And I will catch you guys on the next flight.